Hello everyone. So I'm here with you all for the day 2 for chapter number 9, that is reproduction in animals for class 8. So in the first lecture we have already discussed about sexual and asexual reproduction, about male and female reproductive system and fertilization. Now today we are starting with that a process that is called IVF. IVF, you might have heard this name in newspaper, the ads are there. Actually, why there is a need for the IVF? IVF is in vitro fertilization. This is required when some women oviducts are blocked and they are unable to bear babies, like the reproduction cannot take place, right? Because if the oviducts are blocked, then the sperm will not be able to reach the egg for fertilization. Then the doctor always advised to go through this process. In this process, what they used to do, they collect freshly released egg and sperms and keep them together, right? In case the fertilization occurs, then the zygote is allowed to develop for about a week. Then it will be placed in the mother's uterus for the complete development. Because children, the complete development of a child always need a natural environment, natural place like mother's uterus. So it will not fully develop outside. So that's why they are shifting it after 1 week to the mother uterus, right? And the babies born through this technique are called test tube baby. Embryo that we have already discussed a little bit. Fertilization results in the formation of zygote, which begins to develop into embryo. The zygote divides repeatedly to give rise to a balls of cells. The cells then begin to form groups that develop into different tissues and organs of the body. This developing structure is termed as embryo. The embryo gets embedded in the walls of uterus for development. So you can see here on the screen the developing embryo, day 1, day 2, day 3. So this is the picture which is showing that how the development of embryo takes place. This is week 1, like fertilization, fallopian tube is traveling to the uterus. Here this is the uterus part where it's entering. Yes, fetus. The stage in which all the body parts can be seen is called fetus, and it takes place in the uterus only. You can see all the parts of the baby are visible here in the stage. That is the reproductive system, all male and female, because reproduction takes place in frogs also. That is a life cycle of a frog. Eggs to tadpole, then froglet, then adult frog. Then adult frog again lay eggs. This full process is known as metamorphosis, right? You can see here a female frog sitting on the mass of its own spawn eggs. They release 100 of eggs. Then the male sperms enter inside the egg. Then few of them eggs are fertilized. And then the young ones produced. So how does reproduction takes place in frogs? We know that in rainy season, these frogs move to the ponds and slow flowing streams. So when they come together in the water, the female lays 100 of eggs, which are held by the jelly together and provides protection to the eggs also. Now, when these eggs are laid, the male will deposit its sperms over them. When the sperms swims randomly in water with the help of long tail, then they might come in contact with the eggs. This results in the fertilization. As the animals lay 100 of eggs and release millions of sperms, but all the eggs do not get fertilized because the eggs get exposed in water movement, wind, and rainfall. So there are another animals in pond which may feed on eggs, right? So it's not possible that all the eggs will fertilized. And this process is known as metamorphosis. Metamorphosis is just like a process in which the young one and the adult, they are completely different from each other, right? You can see in this picture, tadpole and adult frog. Can you imagine this? This will be converted into this. Here you can also see. So that is metamorphosis, in which young ones are completely different from adults, in which larva into adult, sudden and abrupt changes in the animal structure. Asexual reproduction is a mode of reproduction that does not involve the fusion of male and the female gametes. It requires only one parent, and the offsprings produced are exact copies of their parents. In class 8, we will study about binary fission. As from its name, it's very clear. Binary fission means binary. Bi means two. Fission means dividing. So in which a single organism keep on dividing itself and converted into two daughter amoebae. You can see here two daughter amoebae are there. That's why it's binary fission, because two are producing from one. That is binary fission. Next is budding. Budding involves the formation of new individual from the bulges known as buds. You can see here, it's in hydra. Buds are arising from hydra, and then they will get detached, and then they will develop into the full-fledged organism. Then we have oviparous and viviparous animals. Animals which lay eggs outside their bodies are known as oviparous animals, like all birds, frogs, lizards, crocodiles, etc. Animals which give birth to young ones are known as viviparous animals, like lions, tigers, dogs, and human. Cloning, the one example of cloning, the dolly was the first cloned animal, and it is genetically identical to its parent sheep. It is creating an exact copy of biological entity. It is created by inserting the complete genetic material of a regular body cell from a donor into recipient. Sheep are viviparous animals and so propagate their offspring sexually. Sir Lan Wilmot from Roslin Institute in Edinburgh, Scotland, created doll. World's first cloned buffalo was in India. Scientists at India's National Dairy Research Institute in the Indian state of Haryana produced the first cloned buffalo in February 6, 2008 using DNA from the ear of an adult female. Through unfortunately, it died of pneumonia soon after its birth. Right? So that is all for this chapter, children. I hope this video will help you a little bit for learning this chapter. Thank you very much.